Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 29th, 2018. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. This is home of cryptocurrency straight talk. No fancy setter graphics, just information. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture. All right, check out the links below. Yesterday's Beyond Bitcoin show, I talked about personal responsibility being the new counterculture. Also Friday, This Week in Bitcoin was great. Archives are all linked to below. Get your Trezor. Use my Trezor code linked to below, way down there. Get a crypto steal with your Trezor. There's some new deal out there. And yeah, t-shirts. And I know everybody loves seeing these t-shirts. I got all sorts of guys trying to sell t-shirts, and I'm glad for them. They are in motion. Good job, guys. Good job. All right, quickly, in the notes section, in the chat from the other night, somebody reminded me of the BTC-E exchange. And if those of you who do not know what that is, that was an exchange that many people used for a long time. And Tone Vase and me and other people warned that they would just disappear one day. And whatever happened, it shut down. It went away. And despite all those warnings, people lost money on there. So people never keep. Remember that story. You might have never heard that before. Don't keep your money on exchanges. Don't keep your coins on exchanges. But it's hard for me to believe when I read something like this left in my chat section. Barry Silbert and Ethereum Classic saved my life. All my funds would have been on BTC-E when it went down if not for Barry. So this guy's saying that because of something Barry Silbert said, I guess he maybe bought a lot of Ethereum Classic and thus moved all of his funds off of BTC-E, he was saved. But why the heck was this dude even keeping all his funds on BTC-E? That's the part, that's great. Barry Silbert's your savior. That's awesome. That's your business, dude. But that the fact that after watching my show, Tone's show, and all these other people, that you were even willing to, you needed a miracle from Barry Silbert to save your butt. I mean, that just shows you how many people don't control their own private key, keep their money on exchanges. Don't do it, people. You don't know when the next BTC-E is going to happen. It could be any exchange. And you're not going to have some miracle Barry Silbert come in and ride in on a unicorn and save your life or whatever that dude happened to that guy. And dude, thanks for being in my chat and everything. But when you leave stuff in the chat and I read the chat afterwards, I sometimes think of stories. So pound that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the links below. And yeah, I'm in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon, starting on May the 1st until the 10th. So, hey, if you're cool, contact me. Maybe we can arrange a Meister event. The first 2 days, I'm hanging out with a college friend. But then after that, I will be up in, I think, Northwest Portland. It's actually near some synagogues, actually, coincidentally enough. It's kind of funny. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about the lawsuit. All these lawsuits, people want to sue Bitcoin.com. All right. And that's controlled by King of the Trolls. Guys, you are playing right into King of the Trolls' hands. I mean, have you ever seen how he acts on his videos? Okay. How he makes everything into an infomercial, how the Bcash people are victims that you need to feel bad for, that the Bitcoin people are, attacking them and hurting them. And, oh, poor little us. I mean, he is going to turn this into aggression against him and against Bcash. He's going to make Bitcoin look like a villain and Bcash look like a sympathetic victim. Now, I don't think being a victim is cool, but a lot of people, mainstream media, they will pick up on that story, and you're going to help him. You're going to help him spread his word
And his word is that Bcash is the real Bitcoin. Now, that isn't the truth, but you're giving him a megaphone by suing him, by playing right into his hands. And it's playing right into his hands. And he is good at persuading people. And he is good at twisting things around. If you can't give the guy credit for having that kind of talent, then you don't know what the heck is going on. You're in over. I mean, you got to treat him with a certain level of respect when you know that you got to take him seriously is what I'm trying to say there. You don't have to respect him on a, but I mean, his skill, he's got persuasive skills. And if you're going to give him a freebie by suing him, I'm not participating in that at all. I'm not encouraging anyone to spend their precious Bitcoin on giving King of the Trolls more attention, on putting the government on a pedestal, on a central, because again, you're going to beg the government to come in and punish Bitcoin.com. That's not what this is about here. Bitcoin has not been victimized here. Bitcoin is not for victims. Bcash is not, everyone's saying they're doing something illegal. Okay, if you were scammed by Bcash, then you go sue Bcash, okay? Who has been scammed by them? Who has been scammed? But what we got here is this movement of people who want to sue Bcash for these victims that I don't know if they even exist. Bitcoin is not for victims. Bitcoin is for the big boys. This is where the big boys play. And when you start getting into defining victims and everything, you get into a territory where it's not helping Bitcoin. This is going to end up hurting the industry. And this was a reference to, this is not going to help cryptocurrencies. And thus, by attacking your competitor, it's going to hurt the industry, which means it's going to hurt Bitcoin too. You're kind of showing that you're threatened by Bcash if you're part of this movement to sue them. Ignore them. That's why I call him King of the Trolls. Don't say his real name. Call it Bcash. That's all you need to do. They can't take it. But again, once you get into litigation, then they're going to say, well, a judge will have to decide maybe Bcash should say it's Bitcoin. That's totally fine. Maybe they are Bitcoin. And again, it will help them. It will confuse more people if this thing gets into a well-publicized lawsuit. And King of the Trolls thrives on confusion. Because the more confused people, the more people that are going to think, well, maybe he's got a point. He's being picked on here. And I'm not saying he's being picked on, but he's going to twist it around that way. All right. So let's not, please, people, don't be, it's a weak hand stand. Strong hands have confidence that Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Wish Bcash luck, let them go their own way, ignore them. Treat them like any other altcoin out there. And just call it Bcash, and that's it. That's it. Pound that like button. All right, enough of that. And as I said, Bitcoin is not for victims. It's for the big boys. But we do have a victim coin out there. There is such thing as a victim coin. That is the US dollar. Yes, that's how it thrives today. Our society is based on victimhood. Compensate me. Let me sue you because you treated me horribly, and I will get more US dollars. People like to say that the US dollar is stabilized because it's the petrodollar that powers the oil trade system, and there were all these deals made with Saudi Arabia, and it's the petrodollar. I don't think the petrodollar is the base of the current system at all, of the dollar system. I think it is the welfare dollar, the victim dollar, the 80% dollar. As long as the government dependents get their inflated dollars and remain fat and distracted, then money printing inflation system stays quite stable here in the US. The USA knows how to satisfy the 80%ers of the world with entertainment and free money. That is what, it's not about the oil is going to be worthless eventually. Dollar will still be there because it's the welfare dollar. And we have so many people that are dependent on the state, who put the state on a pedestal, who put this culture, pop culture, on a pedestal. It is the welfare dollar, not the petrodollar. And guess what? The welfare dollar isn't going anywhere. But if you get into Bitcoin, you opt out of the system, you're not in the welfare dollar system anyway, which is an inflationary system where you will not have any wealth. You'll just be a government dependent. When you get into the Bitcoin system, you're gaining wealth. You're fighting against that. And the two can exist side by side. The two will exist side by side because there's always going to be 80%ers. There's always going to be 20%ers. There's always going to be more 80%ers than 20%er. Be a 20%er. Live a life of freedom that is not dependent on pop culture and welfare and money printing. All right. I said some of this yesterday too, but hey, why not say it again? And again, here is this. Oh yeah, here's the photo of the day, which is on Twitter by Michael Cresson. He says it's a picture of a bank. I think it's called Central Bank, and it says, "Have you centralized your banking relationship with us? This is a real advertisement." And it's funny, because we're always talking about the banks are centralized and Bitcoin is decentralized. Most people in crypto do not care about the decentralized aspect of cryptocurrency, though. And that's unfortunate. And thus they pump up coins based on the speculative nature of some, the marketing of some. Over the long run, they will learn the hard way what is real cryptocurrency and what is just digital money, okay? Flavors of the month versus Bitcoin, the rock, okay? Because some of these centralized coins are no different than the US dollar once it becomes Fed coin. And it's ridiculous. But people are like, oh, my IOTA or my whatever, my NEO can do so many magical things. It's all centralized. Bitcoin is decentralized. All right. But people don't care. So many people getting into cryptocurrency just want to flip this. What's the latest hot thing? What did CNBC Africa say today? Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so let's get into the first aspect of the crypto dividend drama of the last few days. And that is Rhett Creighton. Rhett Creighton was the guy. He is a smart person, okay? He has a high IQ. There's no doubt about that. He went to MIT, okay? I have praised him for his IQ before. I have praised him for coming up with this original Spork idea, renaming Zclassic and Bprivate and getting all Zclassic holders as Bprivate and all Bitcoin holders as Bprivate, which is basically Zcash, basically giving Bitcoin holders their own anonymous coin, which is cool, which was original. And he came up with this idea. He got a team together, and they're working. People said things about Rhett that he leaves projects quickly. And he's, they call him all sorts of names and everything. And I thought, well, let's give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Well, he started promoting something called that Prime coin should fork into Bitcoin Prime. Let's call it Bprime. And so I think the Bprivate people had enough of it, and said, I don't know. Rhett himself has admitted he's contributed very little to the project, okay? But he still was the figurehead of the project. So they did the right thing, and they ripped the Band-Aid off now, okay? You got to rip it off eventually. It's going to hurt. Just get it over with now, okay? So the price of Bprivate went down. Now, you got to give Rhett credit on one thing here. He does not care what anyone thinks about it. Obviously, if he has taken this route, he's going to do what he's going to do, what's best for him, and that's his business. Would I do what he did? No, I would not do what he did at all. Okay, but you can see I linked to all these tweets below. They're very interesting. Be sure to read the comments under every one of the tweets, because either you're dealing with this Bprime thing, or we're going to get to this Be Anonymous thing. Now, again, Rhett has nothing to do with the Be Anonymous Zclassic fork that we're going to be talking about in a second. But if you read the comments about that one too, people are enraged about all this stuff. This is, again, the original idea of Zclassic sporking was great, but now we've got the unintended consequences of everything here, okay? We've got one guy, we got Rhett trying to rename another coin, which is his business. Then we got another guy with this Be Anonymous thing that's basically doing his own Bprivate and using Zclassic as the base again. It's like ridiculous. Like, why use Z? We'll get that in a second, though. I'm jumping ahead, but let's go to Rhett here. Oh, and Rhett said something that was good. Bprivate doesn't need me. The lone genius inventor is a myth. The truth is, it can't be stopped now, and 100 other people did 99% of the work. Okay, so there from the horse's mouth right there. So Rhett is gone. Bprivate can move on. They go their separate ways. That is great for Bprivate. Maybe some of this exchange madness can be cleared up now. I'm not, there's rumors that Rhett had something, that he didn't answer phone calls or he wasn't around. I'm not going to make accusations. You read the stuff. He's gone. That's it. Good luck to Bprime. Good luck to Rhett on his future projects. And he does not care about fitting in. He takes it to an extreme, clearly. All right. The loan. And again, yeah, the loan genius, it's great that Bprivate does not have a figurehead anymore. It's not good to have a loan genius figurehead. It isn't good because they could be targets. And imagine if Rhett would have quit at a much more important time. Like Bprivate had just surged to $500 and then he quit. And then everyone would be like, oh, it was a clear puppet dump. And it would go down to $2 or something. I mean, they got this over with now. That's great. Good. Okay. So, hey, and Prime Coin pumped like anything. Of course it pumped like 80%ers. Good luck. I am not involved with the Prime Coin thing at all. The Bprime, if it works out, it works out. I guess you'll hear things about it here if it works out. If I somehow get it for free easily, then I get it for free. I turn into Bitcoin, whatever. I'm not touching that one. I mean, there's a lot of bad vibes around all this stuff now. It wasn't supposed to be like this. But people make individual decisions. So we're gonna have to make individual decisions. Personal responsibility. If you get involved in this stuff and it really doesn't end up happening, because there's no guarantee that there's going to be a Bprime fork. There's definitely no guarantee there's going to be a Banonymous fork. It's your own fault for getting into it. All right. So yeah, speaking of Bprivate, some good news. Tomorrow, April 30th, and I linked to this Reddit post before, below, they're going to have an Ask Me Anything, so you can ask them anything. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions right now for the Bprivate people, because there has been this drama surrounding it, and drama they're not really even involved in, because the Banonymous thing they have nothing to do with. But these Banonymous people, guy is bringing them up on Rand's show, and Rand is in Miami, and I guess if you would have been in Miami too, and you told Rand you had some scoop, he put you on his show also. I mean, from what I gather you watched the interview yourself. We're going to cover that in a second. But first, I noticed that Bdiamond pumped to like $6.22. I don't know what's going on with that, man. I don't know what is going on. It seems to be gradually rising in value in terms of dollars and in Bitcoin. I don't know. I still know that there's no easy way for me to get it for free yet and turn it into Bitcoin. That's what I wait for. That's what I wait for. All right. And yeah, I talked about the rumors about Rand's show already came out on Thursday that, and Zclassic had already started pumping. And I mentioned that, and I said, I want nothing to do with this. And sure enough, after my show, there was a huge price dump. So Zclassic is not as high as it was on the rumors. I think partially because Zclassic, I don't know if it's their official Twitter or their I guess it's their official Twitter. Zclassic said, as said in March, all work has stopped on Zclassic. Nothing about this has changed. Any proposed fork you may hear about does not have widespread consensus. Please use caution before participating in any fork that is promising guaranteed returns or may sound too good to be true. Now, this Banonymous guy was on Rand's show. That was from Zclassic. But the Banonymous guy on Rand's show, you could watch the show, says the Bprivate price is a start for them. That's a start. From there, the sky's the limit. That's not his exact words. You watch it yourself. You decide. But anyway, that Banonymous is even happening. That Bprime is even happening. These new sporks, or whatever you want to call them, I think this might be a sign that we are at near the end of a bear crypto market. This madness would not be going on during a bear crypto market. Well, maybe, but I mean, I would think this is if you are looking for a bullish sign for cryptocurrency, this is probably it. When crazy things like this are starting to happen, boil up. When Rand has this dude on CNBC, and I keep alluding to this without actually talking about it yet. Okay. Yes, I said that. Okay. And again, I linked to Banonymous related tweets. Some people are not clearly fans of it. The guy, so here's what I see. There was a big conference down there in Miami. Rand from CNBC Africa is down there. He runs into some dude that's got this Be Anonymous, which is basically just forking Zclassic into Bitcoin again, like Bprivate did, but with an aspect of Dash, with master nodes, okay? So Rand's like, I got a scoop. I better put the guy on. The guy calls himself Crypto King. His name is Greenbaum. Never heard of him before. So if Greenbaum, if you're watching this, you're from Miami, your other guy was from Miami also that was on this show with you. You should meet a guy named Chris DeRose. Chris DeRose is also from Miami. You should go on his show because you're both in Miami. And if Chris DeRose is watching this, I actually tweeted at Chris DeRose, have you heard of this guy before? You know, this guy's the crypto. He says he's the crypto king. He's in Miami. You're Chris DeRose. You're from Miami. You do interviews and you're a big, Chris DeRose is an old school Bitcoin guy, you know. He's got an interesting style and everything. And I hope that Greenbaum goes on Chris's show. You should go on Chris's show. I think it'll be very interesting to be on Chris's show. It'll be good, because, I mean, obviously some of us are perplexed about your Be Anonymous. And I think Chris DeRose can really flesh out what Be Anonymous is. And since you're both from Miami and everything, you're close by, it'd be really easy. So that's just a suggestion. But, all right. The guy, I linked to Rand, the interview below, okay, that Rand did. It's the first 8 minutes of Rand's show on CNBC Africa. And the guy, obviously the conference, these mega conferences have a lot of ICO pumper type people at them. And the guy, Greenbaum, sounds like King Crypto or whatever his name is. He sounds like an ICO pumper. He says Sunday, which is today, which is about to end, their website goes live. I do not know if that has even happened, if the Be Anonymous website has gone live yet. The entire interview was, some would say shady. He ripped on Bprivate, yet he basically is doing exactly what Bprivate did. So let's look at it this way. The Zclassic, and Rand even at the end said, so if you buy Zclassic now, you'll get your Be Anonymous. I wonder if Rand has bought a bunch of Zclassic. It almost seemed like he had, or I don't know. Again, the interview was, it was more like an infomercial again. And I'm not the only one saying this, but again, you make your own decision. I'm not here to tell you the way to think. Watch it yourself. It's linked to below. It was very interesting. So the Zclassic price will tell you what the market thinks of this, if people are excited about it. If it does start pumping again, people do want to get it, I guess. 80%, will 80%ers like this used car salesman approach? Because this isn't, they define success. It's the 80%ers that define the success of things like this. They're the ones who pump because we don't buy it. We just get it for free, the 20%ers. People say they don't like marketing. What that dude was doing, it was not marketing. This guy is like a cold call salesman, okay? There's a big difference here. I'm reading stuff on Twitter. People are like, this is what's wrong with cryptocurrency today. Again, there are aspects of cryptocurrency that are like that are used car salesmen like, that are sales pitchy like, but marketing isn't a bad thing. But when you do the cold call sales type approach and you watch it for yourself, that isn't too cool. But good luck to them. If the 80%ers pump it up, then I'm going to get it for free. And again, I'm going to get it for free because I have Bitcoin, not because I'm buying Zclassic. Okay. And again, it'll set an example. Tai Zen said, why aren't you forking into Dogecoin? Because again, Tai Zen he wants Dogecoin to pump too. He's got a point. Like, why not be a little bit more original? And again, it will help Dogecoin and it will help Zclassic if they but of course they're not going to fork into Dogecoin. You know why? Because Bitcoin is the rock. Bitcoin is the one. These type of games that they're playing with Bitcoin, sporks, forks, crypto dividends, whatever, which they benefit Bitcoin holders. Everyone wants a piece of Bitcoin. They don't want a piece of Dogecoin. The guy's doing the Zclassic. I don't know why he's in. Be my guest why he's picking Zclassic. Anyway. Again, I want nothing to do with I want to make this as clear as possible. I want nothing to do with this Be Anonymous thing. Nothing to do with it at all. And it doesn't seem like a reputable person who thinks about it. Maybe Rand didn't really think about what he was getting into, would want to touch this at all. Again, if we get it for free, If the 80%ers fall in love with it, they love the cold call sales approach and all the, master nodes being thrown out, then great. They will buy it and they will pay the consequences, and we will sell it to them and get more Bitcoin. I mean, it says a lot about 80%ers if this thing does work out. Anyway, on a personal note, he says it's going live on September the 10th. Greenbaum said this is going live on September the 10th. And this is a personal thing. The first thing that came to my mind when I heard September the 10th was, well, that's the first day of Rosh Hashanah. And, Greenbaum, you're Jewish probably. Or you're fine. Now, if you're not Jewish, then ignore this. But if you're Jewish, dude, why are you doing this on Rosh Hashanah, man? Come on. You couldn't pick another day. It's disrespectful. It's just, I can't believe it. I can't even believe it. If you are, again, maybe your dad was Jewish, maybe your granddad was Jewish, and you're stuck with that unfortunate last name. Because no, we Jewish people, we don't have the best last names. I got lucky and got Meister. That's a long story how we got that. But anyway, dude, Rosh Hashanah, you're doing this. I mean, God almighty. No respect. Anyway, quickly, MoneroV has an update. I linked to it below. The 2nd or 3rd of May is going to be the fork for MoneroV. It's been moved up due to just the way it's working over there. It's a natural occurrence. Anyway, I'm TechBalt on Twitter. I've mentioned Twitter a lot. TECHBALT. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. I'll see you later. Bye.